This gentleman from Georgia, at the age of 28, he was sentenced to hang. When he chose his last meal, he simply asked for a pitted olive. Although I don't know why he was like this, his request was still met. It was not until the pitted olive was found in his suit pocket before the body was buried that people realized that what he wanted was not to eat it, but to grow it in his grave, an olive tree.
There you go.
There you go.
Come back to life.
Understand, I'm just a man with the pork fat baby back blues.
Gdayall, and welcome to episode 74, Last Meals.
Well, do you remember your last meal?
My last meal today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or whatever. Or last meal last night.
My last meal last night. Yes, I made something from HelloFresh. And it was enchiladas, which I had for lunch today too. Yeah. What about you?
Well, we're at trivia night. And
you would. That's why you mentioned it.
That's why I get that great chicken wings and the New Orleans style, which I never had like that in New Orleans, but these are really good. But I didn't have that last night.
What'd you have?
Well, since we're in not an Irish bar, an Australian bar.
Yeah.
The Inkerman, I'll give them a plug.
Yes.
Okay, good food. I had the tacos. How did the Australians pronounce it?
Tacos.
The tacos. I'll have the tacos. I'll have the tacos with chipotle chicken. A chipotle chicken.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It was good.
Chipotle. That's what they say.
Franchise the audience, Phil.
Yes. Okay.
Well, so today we're going to be talking. We're not just focusing on nameless. Brendan's put it as criminals instead of criminals. Uh-huh. We're talking famous people, some randoms, famous chefs, and some of the USAFoods crew too.
It's not like they died or anything.
No. It's just like, what if charges. You could pick as far as we know, what would you pick for your last meal? So it's sort of become a question people kind of throw out there just when you're having
pretty
good
morbid.
Food.
Yeah, you're having a great time. What do you before you die? What do you want to eat?
Well, on the other end of it, you're having the most magnificent New Orleans wings, and you go, "Oh, this is so good."
Yeah, I could die eating these. Yeah. Then you choke on a chicken bone.
Yes, that is it. And
I'm sure there's stories on that of people that said this is so good, and they just gouged themselves and died right after that, or like died eating.
It's like a Monty Python, just one wafer thin mint. Now, Phil, a while back when I was throwing this idea around, because I am a cop's daughter and I am morbid, so I am trying to bring some cheer to this. And Phil said, "Hey," and he sent me an article on Hangtown. Yep. Which is a happy.
Like the Boomtown Rats.
That's right. So it's up near me. Placerville is called Hangtown for obvious reasons. And there are two theories. So there's a meal called a Hangtown Fry or Hangtown Breakfast.
Yeah, and one restaurant in San Francisco specializes in making that.
That's exactly right. And there are two working theories about how this came about. Mm-hmm. The less interesting one was a rich man who had just, I must have had a gold strike, went in and said, "I want the most expensive things I can have." So he ordered oysters and I think lobster, and everything had to come from all over. So it took them days.
Yeah, because they didn't have the transport that they had now. Everything in horse and wagon. Yeah, so
eggs
the oysters
from
came from San Francisco, right?
Yes, and eggs too.
Take 3 days, and by the time they got there, they were rotten. All right, do it over again. We can't make this guy get sick.
But the better one, I think, is the story that Phil sent the article for me. This gentleman, he was doing some bad things and he was sentenced to be hanged. And so he was thinking, I would like, it's going to take him 3 days to get the eggs from San Francisco. It's going to take another, week to get something from a bit farther north that would have been seafood of some sort. Actually, I'll have a little quick flick.
Well, the oysters, I remember the story
That's
about
right.
the oysters. That took a few days to get.
Yeah, so bacon and oysters, and some people do it as an omelet as well. So it is in 1962. There's an episode, the Hangtown Fry, of Death Valley Days. And Paul Duvall, a young man falsely condemned to the gallows in Placerville, where the community was known as Hangtown. And the storyline, he made up a recipe of bacon and oysters in the form of an omelet in the hopes of postponing his execution while his girlfriend frantically seeks to clear him. Now, I think in real life, he probably wasn't cleared.
Mhm.
And that was the end of it.
Yeah.
But so we are a macabre people, Americans. We
Mhm.
do like to these are the things we discuss. People, wait up to hear what someone's last meal is. We do have chats about that. We always want to, hear about the last days of someone famous that's passed away. So it's sort of one of those things we think about. And today we're going to cover some famous people, what their last meals were, some randoms. So I found a really good article with a company that did the same question to their employees. Famous chefs. One of them is Phil's all-time favorite, and that's actually the reason I picked the article.
Yeah.
John and Jane Doe, the criminals. So
we're not naming them.
Not naming
we're protecting the names to protect the innocent.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
So we're not being too salacious. So we just, it's just more the act of it.
Not going to glorify them.
No. That's right. So we've got men and women who were put to death in some of their last meals, and the motleyest crew of all, the USAFoods crew.
Yeah.
So we've asked them.
All right. We had the motley crew here. All right. What would be their last meals? Yeah.
I don't even. Yeah, I don't know.
Can't begin. Okay.
No.
So we go on with some our fun facts are going to be grim facts today.
Mm.
Oh.
Feels a bit
So in the American legal system,
sad.
there is a specific tradition that some people follow. People who have been sentenced to death and they committed crime to get their special last meal. Newspapers will run articles. And this goes all the way back to notorious criminals as far back as 1800s.
Yep.
Wow. So this has been something in American history for quite some time.
Well, that's right. And I think it sort of sticks in the psyche. Now, one bad apple always spoils it for the bunch. In 2011, Texas abandoned the bespoke last meal for death row inmates after one prisoner placed a vast order, 2 chicken fried steaks, a pound of barbecue, and so on, but ate none of it.
Oh, what a waste of food.
I know. And then he ruined it for everyone else.
Yeah, he had to go die.
So that's Texas for you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the next one, the Grim Fact 3, which I'll jump in if I may, Phil.
Yeah, go ahead.
So there was a New Zealand-born photographer, Henry Hargreaves. He was struck by the news and began researching the subject about this meal being taken away. Mm-hmm. And he said, "For me, the death penalty was no longer an abstract thing." Mr. Hargreaves told me recently, "The detail of death row meals brought home the human aspect. I thought, if I can empathize with these people through their last meals, other people can too." And that is true. And to the next point that Phil will go on with, it really is. You will. Or I can go. I can keep going if you like.
Well, no. Well, yeah. In reality,
there you go.
Very few people, at least those who aren't on death row, actually have the opportunity to choose their last meals before they die.
It's true.
Before you give me that last shot, okay. When we learn of the last meals of people who die suddenly, it can add eeriness to otherwise mundane food.
Yes.
Because these are not like people who they know they're going to die because they got, terminal illness or something. These are people that,
they got up in the morning and
dropped dead after he had a great meal last night. So that was his great meal. That was his last meal. So was the dish caused by their death is what we're talking about, or by the occasion, a special occasion? Or a combination of both.
Yep.
So people are fascinated with the idea of the last meal. I guess everybody, you think about when how are you going to plan that? So do you eat good until you die?
That's what I'm going for. And you know what? If a Snickers is good when it's good, it's good.
Good. Yeah.
That's it.
All right. So you can finish up.
Okay. Few people would be interested in daily breakfast, lunch, or dinner of someone who remains alive. Mm-hmm. But after death, characters are often mythologized and looked at under a new light, knowing that Julia Child, I loved this when I read this, is so true, had French onion soup just before she died, certainly emphasizes and even enhances the role she was so famous for as an American cook and writer, popularizing French cuisine in the United States. And it is, and it also really gives, I'll say the final thing, it really gives an insight to maybe how someone grew up, or what their simple tastes are, because
Yeah. I'm just thinking about Alfred Hitchcock. What's his? He was very morbid.
He was.
Yes.
He
So
would
what
love
was-
this conversation.
Yes,
I
he
don't
would.
know. Maybe we can look that up during the break.
Good evening. Okay, so we'll go out with the funeral march instead of our normal music. All right, so there we go. Okay, we're going to talk about now famous people. These are not people that were arrested, but people that we know about that are famous that we know what they ate before they died.
That's right. Some of it is surprising. I'd like we can go back and forth, or we can talk about. I'll do the first one. James Dean, who tragically died sort of in Northern California racing after driving his car and getting in a car
Got
accident.
cut off or something like this, driving
Something.
a bathtub
He was-
Porsche.
That's it.
Yeah.
And the Porsche's name was, trivia question,
Oh, I don't know.
Little Bastard.
Little best.
Lil was. But his last meal was it was all American as all get out. Rumor has it he stopped at a roadside diner for a slice of apple pie and a glass of milk before the car
There
accident.
you go.
That's it.
Well, then we got old Blue Eyes.
Yes.
Frankie boy, Frank Sinatra. He savored a golden brown grilled cheese sandwich for his last supper. How did he know that?
Well, Barbara probably cooked it for him. I'm like, is he all right?
Yeah.
He had grilled cheese and then he fell over.
Or maybe got a care package from Mamma Mia. What was it? Mia Farrow.
I was just wondering, I would have, in my head, it would have been something a bit more exotic or sort of,
But I mean, we look at people like Sinatra or any celebrity but they like the common things too.
And you can't beat a good grilled cheese.
Yeah.
Really, it's good. Now, Abraham Lincoln. So President Lincoln sat down for a traditional American meal. He enjoyed a roast Virginia fowl with chestnut stuffing, baked yams, and cauliflower smothered in cheese sauce.
Oh, how good!
See, that's.
But he was the president.
Well, yeah, and the cook make all his favorites, but cauliflower cheese, even then, I didn't know that was a big thing then.
And I'm sure it was plated on Lennox.
Of course, I actually have. My mother sent me coffee cups, like cup and saucer. That's from the Lincoln, a replica of the Lincoln China.
Yeah, because they've been making presidential stoneware.
Yes,
since the beginning. Yeah.
We might have coffee in that next time. The Lincoln
and
China.
you could do the Julia.
To Auntie Julia. So this American cook made the world of French cooking accessible to Americans. She went on to teach culinary techniques through her various cooking programs on television, which I used to watch after school, the Julia Child show, and I just loved that she chucked everything over the side and someone else cleaned it up. It's fitting that her last meal was a bowl of French onion soup. Hopefully. It is.
And Elvis. Well, he ate a lot before he died. Yeah.
Well, but that's not unusual for Elvis at the time.
No, and that was Tom Jones anyway.
What?
It's not unusual. Anyway, he's said to be fond of fried peanut butter, bacon, and banana sandwich. In fact, many people refer to that as the sandwich that killed Elvis, probably in the long term.
That's exactly right. The buildup.
Yeah. The build of a plaque on his arteries. Yeah. But actually, his last meal was 4 scoops of ice cream and 6 chocolate chip cookies.
He liked things in even numbers.
Yeah. 4 goes into 6. But, it's one thing. I love chocolate chip cookies and ice cream and make a sandwich out of it.
Oh, yes. I actually had that in my head. I was going, I wonder if he did that.
I need big cookies.
Well, he would only have big cookies in his house. There's no, packaged cookies. Now, Anthony Bourdain, 4 days before his tragic death, he posted a picture on social media of a meal from La Petite Venise restaurant in France. The picture showed a braised pork knuckle with horseradish, sausage, and sauerkraut. While this wasn't his last meal, it was his last publicly known one. Countless Bourdain fans have traveled to the same restaurant and ordered the same meal.
It's strange. He ate that in France, but it's a German meal.
Well, it might have, look, I think where he wasn't Paris itself. So he might have been, where it goes to the border of Germany. So it could have been at like an Alsace.
And then John Belushi. I remember exactly where I was when I heard about his death. In fact, we were in California visiting.
Yeah, I remember Elvis exactly.
Yeah, I remember that too. I was shopping in Key Food in Brooklyn. It's amazing how you remember those things as soon as they hit you. JFK, you were too young. Well, you weren't even done.
No, but I was sitting on the front porch with when I heard that on the radio that Elvis had died.
Yeah, John Lennon. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that too.
Exactly where I was.
Well, there was a football game on, and there was a pull through that he had been shot. Okay. I remember seeing that.
Yeah, that's right. I seen the highlights of that. I think it was Monday Night Football.
Yeah, and I don't know why I was watching that in my room.
He must Howard. But the thing was, I was working to midnight and came out, got in my car, 10, 12, 15 minutes past midnight, and turned on my radio that I always listen to on the way home.
Yeah.
And the DJ was just about in tears.
Oh,
really hard. That was a hard week.
Yeah, it was. It was awful for so many.
So anyway, John Belushi. Let's go to something cheerful.
Yes, John Belushi.
John Belushi.
It wasn't cheeseburger, Pepsi.
No. But he dined at the famed Sunset Strip Club in the Rainbow Bar and Grill. The night before he died, Belushi complained of a stomach ache, and his manager brought him a simple bowl of lentil soup. And we discussed this before. Why would you have lentil soup?
That would give me indigestion and make me sick.
That would give you gas and everything. So that was the only food that was in his system when he passed away.
And everything else.
Yeah.
Now, Jimi Hendrix. I thought this would have been a little bit more, I don't know, fancy. But around 3 a.m., Jimi Hendrix's girlfriend, Monica Danneman, prepared a tuna fish sandwich for him in her London flat. And at 11:27 a.m., he was discovered alone and unconscious. He was pronounced dead at the hospital about an hour later.
Yeah, another one. Like
the 27 Club.
I remember of him passing. I don't remember exactly the time, but I do remember from the Doors, Jim Morrison, when he died. Because my friend came in, we had like this makeup gym, like his father was a landlord, and it's like a shop front that was off the main street, so we used that. And he comes in, did you hear that Jim Morrison died? I go, what? You're crazy. You're just pulling me out because I was a big Morrison fan. And, yep, that was true. And the Mamas and the Papas.
Yes, Cass.
Mama Cassell. You know what the rumor was, that she choked on a ham and cheese sandwich.
Yes, which was not true.
Yeah.
It was
okay, and the last one, Liberace.
My mother's first love.
Yeah. Now this is a bit depressing because
I know, because he's so glitzy and glam.
Yeah, right. He probably had this for breakfast. So he had a cream of wheat with half and half and brown sugar on it.
It's the half and half that did it.
You think so? But you think that Liberace would have had at least a half of grapefruit with a cherry on top of it.
Yeah, and the whole thing. Yes, I would have thought. So that's fine. Oh, so he's not as glamorous, but we do have cream of wheat, and I actually have it in the cupboard, and I do have it with brown sugar.
And lumpy, I like it.
I like it lumpy, and I like butter in
There's
it too.
There's a way to make it lumpy. It's a technique. That might be one of my knack things. What do they call those that we do at the end of the show?
Nugget.
The nuggets.
Knowledge
might
nugget.
Be one of my knowledge nuggets.
I think there is a theme of you coming up with these knowledge nuggets on the fly.
Yes.
That's okay. That's fine. Now, these are the randoms that I was talking about. Some of these make me laugh so much because this is from BuzzFeed. So it's people that answered their question. So it's especially people with food allergies. So this artichoke ravioli that's literally to die for. So this person, Jordan. So a lot of these they're all handles. So I'll just say Jordan, I'm guessing. Yeah. I developed a wheat allergy when I was 15, and I had to choose if I had to choose a final meal, I'd say screw it and eat artichoke ravioli from this Italian restaurant in my town and like 24 donuts. If I'm going to die, I might as well die happy.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. And artichoke ravioli, I never had that, but I could just think that should taste pretty good. I like artichokes.
Yeah, that would be beautiful.
Now, here's a strange story.
Tell me.
So the Italians make stuffed artichokes, right? And Jeanette likes stuffed artichokes, but she likes the way her mother made it, which is more Galabrese or whatever.
Right.
Okay. And my father being the same, makes totally different. I don't like it that way, and she likes it the other way. And hers is basically like soggy bread with the tomato sauce and all that, and stuffed into it with
Yes,
cheese.
I've
and
had.
everything.
She has brought some of those to me, which I've enjoyed.
And at the beginning, like she would eat all the leaves,
Mhm.
scrape them off like
Yep.
do it, and leave the heart, and leave the choke.
Oh.
Like, what are you doing? That's the best part. And I would always get the best part because she never ate it.
Oh, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
But now she eats it.
You should have just kept your mouth shut and just keep taking
Yeah,
them.
no, that's not good for you. Don't eat that. What are you to call it artichoke for? Because you choke on it. Yes. And then we got the IHOP breakfast that's meaningful or meaningless, meaningful as it is delicious. Now, IHOP is sort of like Denny's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the place to go when there's no place else.
That's right.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's comfortable when you want to go someplace at 2 in the morning.
But while I got the train of thought about IHOP and Denny's and Norm's in California and all other diners and stuff like that.
And
and the pancake parlors and with the Waffle House.
Yep.
Where you could go have breakfast and get shot on the way out.
Yeah.
One thing that really struck us the last time, which was a few years ago now that we're in America, is on Sunday mornings, you can't get in to any of those places.
No, because they're full.
They're full. They are packed. And you know what they're packed with? Families that get together.
Yep.
Okay. So even the church and the non-going church goers of the family all convene to meet for breakfast. Like, I don't know if they do it monthly, weekly, or whatever. Yeah. And they all there big families having breakfast all together on Sunday morning.
And it's beautiful. Yeah. I miss that because, we used to do that. And breakfast at those places especially, but breakfast is so much less expensive. So you can afford to take everyone out for a grand slam at Denny's.
Yeah, it's $3.99.
That's right. It's not like $20.
Yeah. And then if you want more than one cup of coffee, it doesn't cost you $4.50.
That's right. Yeah. It's like, can I warm that up for you? Yeah. All of that. And you're absolutely right. They're places that most everyone can get to and afford to be at and enjoy. Now, are you going to
No, you can go this one. Yeah.
Okay.
I talked enough.
Okay. This is from a Petite Bunny Belle. I would want to have IHOP breakfast for my last meal, not only because it's undeniably the most delicious breakfast food in all the land, but because the most important moments in my friendships and now relationship with my girlfriend are at IHOP. In the middle of the night, when we went to IHOP after a concert, we were just friends, and we didn't realize at the time they were dates. And those conversations shaped our relationship. And I'm honestly probably going to propose at an IHOP with the ring inside a pancake or something, just to bring it full circle. Every time we eat at IHOP on purposeful dates now, my heart is full.
That's cheery.
But that's okay. If you're going to go, wouldn't you go?
Like, to IHOP,
with your blueberry pancakes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. And then this exclusive duo. So this is from, it sounds like a radio station.
Yes.
KNCT and Tennessee. Might be. Looks like K, when they have a K instead of W in front of it, means it's on the other side of the Rockies.
That is like WKRP in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, yeah. And then WRAP, WWARP, WARP. But see, like all the radio stations in New York were W's.
See, and we had KNBR. And that's right. Oh, well, there you learn something every show.
Yeah. And KCMO, Kansas City, Missouri.
I did not know that.
Station there. Okay, so a exclusive duo of a McDonald's Mcrib.
Yes.
And I had the misfortune to have one the last time we came here to Australia. It is absolutely horrible.
It's basically Spam in a rib shape,
I think. I think it is. And a Shamrock Shake. Now, I just read about the Shamrock Shake. It's been around forever, and people like hang out for it. Like,
I know.
And they get upset if there wasn't any Shamrock Shakes.
I know. I still can't get over it.
You can never get that at the same time. Yeah, they never put them together.
Yeah, different time of year. Yeah. So maybe that's how they get out of their last meal, having to have one. So a tribute to a Southern Thanksgiving is another one from Allison Clark C. My final meal would be a Southern Thanksgiving feast with my family's traditional recipes, deep fried turkey, and that leads us to There could be if you're deep frying a turkey.
Yeah.
A
Fire!
That's
And that
it.
could be her last meal. She's eating it, and all of a sudden, bang! The
That's how
house goes up on fire, and they're all dead.
See, that's how it could happen.
Oh,
Spiral ham, chicken salad, pimento cheese, cornbread dressing, and the cranberry sauce that comes out in the shape of the can.
I love that.
Me too.
Yeah,
And Brendan hates
and then
it.
you have the
The
lid that you cut open, and then you slice it with that,
And
so
then
you don't have to dirty a knife.
Well, and you know where to slice it because it's got the little ridges in it.
Yes.
Yeah, Brendan every time goes, "You're not serving that, are you?" And I'm like, "I am."
Tradition.
That is.
Yeah. And then we got a simple but classic childhood throwback.
Yep.
And this is from M48273. This must be his number in prison.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. That's a good
It's
pick.
long enough. I would have my mom's homemade pizza with a glass of Coke, typically weekend food when visiting mom as a kid. So he was separated from his mother.
He might have lived with his dad.
He might have been reform school.
He could have been.
Yes.
Now, so this comfort food extravaganza from Peggy K3. Ooh.
Oh,
Bone marrow with garlic toast, mashed potatoes with gravy, roasted Brussels sprouts, popover rolls. I agree with that. Chocolate lava cake, peanut butter pie, and a banana split.
Why don't you just skip the mains and just go to
Yeah.
the desserts?
She goes, I realize this seems a lot, but I'm pregnant.
So that's Peggy K.
Yeah.
Not Prego K.
No, Peggy.
K.
That's right.
Peggy K. Okay, and this from a bread fantastic dream come true. So this guy dreamed of
He's
his
a bread
last meal.
fanatic. Yes.
Yeah, so he's a fanatic.
Yes.
He's got the big chain with the big F on it for fanatic. My friend Johnny would understand
With
that.
the miss.
Yes. Okay, and this is from Nima.
Don't
HL.
try.
Okay.
This is from someone.
Just a bunch of bread, baguettes, rolls, croissants, holly, all of it, so you can drift into carb bliss. Oh, I love carbs. Before I leave this mortal world,
He's missing
must
the- I
be
hope it's
somebody that's
butter.
on a gluten-free diet,
That's right.
and it's probably he's not on it,
And he
or
has to
that
live
person he has to live with two other people.
That's it.
Can't bring gluten in the house. No.
Now, I like Roxanne ER40E on it goes.
Yeah.
Chicken pot pie, Dr. Pepper, and Santa's thumbprint cookies.
Oh. Yep.
Simple and perfect.
Yeah. All go together too.
They do.
Yeah. And then here comes from JK Believe. I do believe. Okay. A 3-course meal with chocolate covered raisins for dessert. Three carne asada tacos.
Yep.
From Mike's Taco Club.
Yep.
Just giving a pitch. I know
Yeah,
where
it's
Mike's
still
Taco.
here.
At it's in San Diego.
Yep.
At Ocean Beach in San Diego. Junior's Cheesecake from New York City. And a bag of chocolate covered raisins. I can skip the chocolate covered raisins. I'll go with the other two.
That's
And
right.
I'll bet you, have a rum tart or something.
A babka.
Yeah.
Okay, a feast fit for a soon-to-be former vegetarian. So this is Bianca Frida. I'm vegetarian, but for my last meal, I'd have ribs as well as an entire cheesecake and a large Diet Coke.
Yeah, you don't want to gain weight for the coffin. You know, what would you?
I think there's no need for diet anything when this is your last meal. But I
Now,
get
here's
it.
something I'll throw out to the audience out there because
Yes.
there's a lot of vegetarians and
Yes.
vegans out there. Would you? Would anybody else go the same way as what was her name here? Not Melissa.
Bianca Frida.
Bianca, of having ribs and some other meat that you haven't had in 20 years.
Could be.
Because you're holding to your principles, and I'm not going to have it. But as my last bite of something, I want something that's flesh to bite into.
Well, someone that we both know kind of went that way a little bit in their list of what their last meal will be, but we'll get to that in a second.
Well, one of my second cousins, my cousin's son,
Yeah.
went to France
Mm-hmm.
as a vegetarian.
He would have come back as a carnivore.
He did. He did.
If you're going to try to change anyone's mind, that is
Yeah.
the place to do it.
Okay, and then this decisive selection
Mm-hmm.
from Melissa.
Yes,
Okay, In and Out, no contest.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be sad. That would not. That would be like, oh darn! I wish
Yeah.
I'd had
I
something
think
else.
it comes up later on. We do talk about In and Outs from one of the chefs, right?
Yes.
Okay, and
Oh, and this even simpler request from Shannon. I love this.
God,
I
no.
would want a whole Costco sheet cake. That's all I could possibly ask for.
Does Shannon work at Walmart or
No, but it'd be, see that?
a whole sheet cake? Why would? Yeah, okay, whatever makes you happy.
That's what this is about.
Yes.
Whatever makes you happy, not what other people think.
Yep. And this crawfish, before dying, deadly allergic to shellfish.
Yes.
Plus, I'm a long-term vegetarian. My dying wish is to go to a crawfish boil, and as I never tried it and always have been dreaming of. you know, s- there you
Well,
go.
you go out in a bang.
Yeah, and that's from Gabriella.
Gabriella,
Mhm.
there we
The
go.
angel. Okay, so here we go on to our next point: famous and not so famous chefs.
Okay, so now this is a twofer. Famous chefs and Phil's rant.
I'm not ranting.
Okay,
Okay, you put his name in there.
I did.
It's your fault.
Okay, if you are a long-time listener
So
of us,
he would also say the word takas with the K or whatever.
yes.
Yeah.
So like Megan and
Megan.
Liz. Oh no, she's Megan,
Megan, not Megan.
not Megan,
Okay.
and Liz, and everyone else.
Mhm.
Curtis Stone is our first famous chef.
Yes.
Phil's fave. So his first course would be. So this is a thing that foodies do talk about at times, and they know all the different restaurants, and they kind of search the world for things. So fish tacos from the beaches of Sayulita, Mexico.
Mhm.
Second course, a wonderful steak. I'm not saying it at Restaurante Alameda in La Roja, Spain. Third course, his granny Maud, who he named his Michelin star restaurant after, made the best fudge.
Very nice.
Very sweet.
Mhm.
That's it. Nothing really Australian in there for a boy that grew up in Australia.
No comment. Okay.
Wonder if he gets it at Coles.
Okay, and Jay Rayner
Yes.
is the Observer's resident restaurant critic.
Yes.
So his first course, my starter would be a half dozen oysters served to me at Rolls, a London's oldest restaurant.
That's right.
Rolls. And I don't know. I tell you one thing, living here in Australia, I won't eat oysters anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, they're magnificent.
They are magnificent.
See, now I would say if Jeanette was picking something, she'd pick clams because she loves them so much.
Clams on a half shell. Yeah. Ooh.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I like. And I don't know. I would probably go for a nice, Boston type boiled lobster, with the Dawn butter and all of sweet, tender, succulent. It's the way to go.
It is. Just a little bit of butter just dribbling
down
down the
on
chicken.
They give you the bibs to it. No, I'm leaving anyway, so screw the bib.
Yeah, that's right. Mess the shirt up.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're getting back to Jay. So he's gone with the half dozen oysters.
Mhm.
Yes, I would have gone for a full dozen, but that's
Well,
right.
then he has the second course.
Yes.
Doesn't want to get too full.
No.
Okay, so second course would be a steak cooked for me by the brilliant self-taught chef Victor Agurzona or whatever.
Arguzonis, I think.
Okay.
Right? Steak.
And the third course will be dessert would be a Mont Blanc that virtuously interplayed a meringue, whipped cream, chestnut puree, pinched up with
Armagnac.
Whatever that is. It's a liqueur.
Yes,
But
it's
that
an
sounds
apple.
really good.
Oh no, it's not apple, but it's very good. And his beverage.
This will be a liqueur glass filled with
Advocat.
I hear what you say. I never had it.
People, it's like in a fluffy duck.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So it is.
Oh, and he depth charges into cherry brandy. Oh, right. Okay. He's gonna go out not even knowing that he still exists.
That's right.
The red swirling out of the yellow of this boozy custard. Oh, this sounds good. We got to try this.
Wait.
It's a terrible drink. What do you have it for?
But it's the first booze he ever drank when he was 9, courtesy of his mother, who felt he should be introduced to alcohol early. She had once been a nurse and therefore called it blood and pus. That added to the frisson.
His mother was an alcoholic and beat him
Probably,
up.
but or maybe that was so he never drank. if
Yeah.
something's so bad.
I mean, but it sounds like, when you do the death charge with the cherry brandy, it sounds like, okay, it's worth a try. But chestnut puree, I mean, if the French have a thing like with chestnut puree, and if you could get, and we found it one time in New York. We went to a restaurant once in New York, a French restaurant. We had vanilla bean ice cream, like really fresh, made in the place ice cream with chestnuts that were done into a vanilla sauce also, and layered over the ice cream.
They'd be magnificent. Chestnuts are beautiful. Now we have Will Gdayall. So he has a slew of Michelin stars, Jane Beard awards, and assorted accolades to his credit. And he is co-founded and presides over the hospitality group Make It Nice. His first course, double animal style from In-N-Out and a Coca-Cola.
Yep.
And
no contest.
That's right. This is a quote. Literally, truly, my happy place. Every time I touch down in LA or Vegas, it's my first stop. It's only fitting that it would be one of my last bites of food before crossing over to the other side. And yes, I know it's a filthy choice for the appetizer, but so be it.
Yes.
Now, second course.
His mom's pasta.
Beautiful.
Doesn't go very on beyond that. And the third one is one of your favorites.
Crack pie. Because he married Christina Tossi, who invented crack pie. I do make it and bring it into work occasionally. So I thought, he said he had to say that because, he is married to her.
Okay. And then we go to Eduardo Garcia.
Yes.
Who's the co-founder of food brand Montana Mex.
That's right.
I never saw it. Yeah.
We have to look it up.
So his first choice is sashimi.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love sashimi. Yeah. Second course, second course is grilled lobster tails cooked over coconut husk coals. How good does that sound?
That sounds fantastic.
With habanero, tomato, onion, cilantro, and lime.
Ooh.
Just enough to give it a nice hit.
Yep.
Served with fresh tortillas, black beans cooked in a clay pot, made by my dad, Manuel Garcia, R.A.P.
Yeah.
How nice. Okay, and the third will be a tarte
trapezienne from the
Palace de la Laisse
in
Central Paz.
That's right. Now, I thought his beverage,
that was a bit weird, yeah.
And it made me think, because remember how excited I was when we got this in at work?
Yeah.
I love this stuff. Martinelli's, his beverage would be Martinelli's sparkling apple juice. As a kid, we grew up with very little, if any, processed foods or sugars in our diet. On special occasions, such as Christmas, Mom would get one bottle of Martinelli's. One bottle split between the four of us was gone in seconds.
Bigger bottles than the 8-ounce ones.
That's right. Sometimes I would shoot it. Other days I would sip it painfully slow to savor the moment. As an adult, we ensured there's Martinelli's at every family event, and now we buy it by the case.
There you go.
And may I just say,
we need to get it back in, right?
We do.
Yeah. Well,
and I used
all this dilemma with getting stuff
eventually.
In. Yeah.
I, for the kids, can tell you that at family events, I get a bottle of. I can't get Martinelli's always, but I get a bottle of the sparkling fruit that's in like a champagne bottle, and they call it kids wine. And so they would always have kids wine at Christmas, or something was happening. Can we have kids wine with that?
Oh, well, we had our kids wine growing up was 7-Up or Coke with some red wine in it.
Oh, real kids wine.
Yeah.
Okay, now
here's the real people that died and their last meals, and these are the name. As we said before, the names will be omitted to protect the innocent.
Yes.
So these are the John and Jane Does.
So maybe we just go back and forth. And I think while we're looking at this, you can just sort of see possibly how some people grew up. Mm-hmm. Because, there is, talk about.
What part of the state.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I'll go first, if I may.
The first one sounds like my last meal in Kansas. Fort Scott, Kansas.
There you go. Fried pork chops, a baked potato, asparagus, French bread with butter, a salad with blue cheese dressing, apple pie with vanilla ice cream, and 1 glass of cold milk.
And the next person had barbecue beefsteak, barbecue ribs, tacos, burritos, French fries. He's got a good appetite. A tossed salad with oil and vinegar dressing, and a large Coke.
That's right. There's no messing around with diet. Now, this person is a bit interesting. 2 green apples, 2 red apples, a tray of fresh fruit, and 2 2-liter bottles of Coke.
Okay, that's strange. And then we have one that's very simple, an egg and cheese sandwich.
That's it. Next person, 24 tacos, 2 cheeseburgers, 6 enchiladas, 2 tostadas, 2 whole onions, 5 jalapeno poppers, 1 quart of milk, and 1 chocolate milkshake. I don't know how the milk and the milkshake go with it.
Don't know, but
But
he'll be
he's not gonna
sick
be
if he
worrying.
eats all that. He'll be sick. Yeah,
Maybe that's the whole point.
Can't kill him now. He's throwing up.
That's right.
And then we got 6 fried eggs over easy.
Yes.
Now he's got to send them back. 16 slices of bacon. Exactly. Hash browns. 1 breakfast steak well done. Hot sauce. 1/2 pint of pineapple sorbet. A cup of ice, 7 up. Dr. Pepper. Coffee with sugar and 4 Rolaids because he doesn't want to have that antacid as he's getting
problem.
that juiced up in the electric chair.
That's right. Another person with 2 whole cheesecakes.
Oh, God, that'd take a while to get down.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
probably the
would.
reason. And then we got this person must have been English or something. Liver and onions, cottage cheese, and tomatoes.
I love liver and onions.
Well, I don't know what the cottage cheese goes in there, but
I
anyway.
don't know. That's a bit odd. Someone else, very simple. Coffee.
All right. And then we got 21-piece KFC dinner, 2 pepperoni pieces, a bag of jelly beans, and a 6-pack of Pepsi.
I like because he wants to keep the carbonation going with he or she.
Yeah.
With the cans. Oh, here's one. Cheese doodles, a Kit Kat bar, and a Coke.
Coke seems to be
the popular.
Yeah.
That's it. Well,
Okay.
someone's asked for Pepsi.
And we got this one here. 1 pound of jumbo shrimp. Didn't say how he wants it.
No.
Okay. 1 pound of medium shrimp. 1 pound of popcorn shrimp. He must have been going to the Red Lobster a lot. Okay. French fries, a local
a
loaf
loaf of garlic.
of garlic bread, pecan pie, butter pecan ice cream, and iced tea. First iced tea one.
Yeah, I know. That's interesting. Now, this person must have
This
been
guy must have been like 16.
or a latchkey kid. Pizza pockets, pinto beans, cornbread, and Kool-Aid.
Yep. And last but not least, 2 boxes of frosted flakes. Yeah, great. And a pint of milk. So I guess he had a morning execution.
Good. Well, they all actually, there is a law. There is something that said that they all have to be before sunrise. So they're often between midnight and 5 a.m. That's why. And so I do. Now we have one bonus one. There's a gentleman who, let's see, I will just read the copy of this gentleman. I know if it's the very last meal of my life, I should prepare an extremely rich meal for myself. Even if you don't do this, you should choose a favorite food for yourself. However, for some death row prisoners, they seem to have more things to think about. This gentleman from Georgia, at the age of 28, he was sentenced to hang. And for him, personally, unfortunately, he was the last prisoner executed before the state's moratorium. When he chose his last meal, he simply asked for a pitted olive. Although I don't know why he was like this, his request was still met. It was not until the pitted olive was found in his suit pocket before the body was buried that people realized that what he wanted was not to eat it, but to grow it in his grave, an olive tree.
There you go.
There you go.
Come back to life.
That's it. But then yes, there we go. Now.
Okay, now we're going to go to our crew.
Our motley crew.
Motley crew.
Our staff.
All right, you can start this off. Go ahead.
Okay, Ainsley, who's mine, my stuffing from Thanksgiving, evidently.
Stuffing is always good.
Oh, yes.
I'm surprised it's not on Ano's list there.
I know. Well, there was one Thanksgiving meal that we saw.
And your other daughter, Mackenzie,
Yes.
Japanese and your home-cooked meals, Ma.
Aww. Yep.
Kaylee, chicken fried steak with gravy, mashed potatoes, and green beans.
And she also had an addition this afternoon.
Yeah.
She also wants a Chick-fil-A spicy chicken sandwich with Polynesian dipping sauce, New York cheesecake with strawberry topping.
Oh, speaking of Chick-fil-A, we will be getting in whenever it gets here because everything's stretched out. Chick-fil-A sauces.
Oh, will we?
Yep. The original, the Asian one, and
well, yeah, that's what she wants is the Polynesian dipping sauce.
Yeah, the Polynesian one. Yep.
Oh, well, Kaylee.
She's gonna be happy.
Yes. Now,
okay, Adam has
Smorgies or Sizzler?
Or Sizzler.
Because his idea is he just keeps going back. He can put it off forever.
I think I've been to. No, I don't know if I've been to Smorgy. There used to be one with like torches outside.
Yeah, I went there a couple of times when I was an exchange student.
Okay, you go.
Lucas, a tomahawk steak with mashed potatoes. Now he's just got back from California, so I can see where this is coming from. Mm-hmm. Now I might read Maddie because I had to cut her off.
Yeah, she keeps on going on.
And even more so. So she picked spaghetti, garlic bread, and hot chippies.
Mhm.
And then she came back later. Or katsu bento. But also something sweet like cheesecake and a bottle of wine, my grandmother's apple crumble. And then today she added my pecan pie because it's the first one she tasted,
Yeah.
and an almond croissant. And for her, I've added coffee because she can't live without that. So I
Yeah.
don't know how she missed it. There we
Okay.
go.
And back to your daughter again, Mackenzie. So get back here again. But I know
Again.
why, because this is Mom. You're cooked eggplant,
That's right. Eggplant parm.
lasagna.
And but then she also said, "Ooh, a twister would be good." Now, Sean, he wants some,
Pretty simple guy.
Yeah, some brownies and dinner at and Ruth Chris meal.
Yep.
That's it.
And
He's
Phil
your
Judy,
son.
my son, sushi is sashimi.
Sushi.
Sashimi. Yeah, I brought him over expensive taste. Yeah.
Well, you did that.
Yep.
Kathleen, she picked schnitty chips and gravy from a pub. And I also have just here on this page, we've got one more to flip over. Hayden, he wants pork belly ramen from his favorite ramen place that closed in the city.
Oh.
He still thinks of it.
Yeah, that's good.
Now, Collins is magnificent. He wants.
Argentina-style barbecue, also known as asado with steak, chorizo sausage, chicken breast with sweetbreads with chimichurri and salsa criolla. Okay, accompanied by a huge glass of sweet and spicy Malbec red wine.
He's a class act all the way.
Mm.
Now we've got Katrina.
Bowl of tonkatsu.
Ramen from Kyushu Jangara in Tokyo. I haven't looked that up to pronounce it correctly.
Mm-hmm. And Valentino.
Yes.
Spicy Korean fried chicken. And tteokbokki, Korean fried rice cakes.
Yep.
With large honeydew bubble tea and double pearls.
Now, Leah, she's a simple girl. A really good ham and cheese toasty.
Yep. Then Anna, and you heard of Anna. She was here 2 weeks ago.
Yes, she was here.
Tuna bake with an Aperol spritzer.
Aperol spritz, yes. She is a pescatarian, but we've gone out to dinner a few times, and I've tried to get her over to the dark side just to try some things.
Oh, well, she's very set in her ways.
No, she's actually quite good. She goes, no, I'll try that. I'll try anything. Okay. Now, I asked Brendan what his last meal would be, and he said lemon meringue pie.
Oh, another simple. And nothing that you made. Oh, you're lemon meringue pie.
No, but that's what I said. And he goes, no, you can make it, but I need the store-bought pastry.
Oh, the Marie Callender's one.
The shell. I can make the rest of it. I don't know whether to be offended or what. Anyway.
I'm a simple guy.
You are a simple guy.
I could just see him. He's laying in his coffin. Here's your meringue pie.
Now, that's it. Take it. Now, what would you have?
Well, it's a hard choice. I mean, because I love food. I love all sorts of food.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that lobster, as I described before, would be great. And I like the clams on the hip, so they're just so, and oysters. Yeah. And I could go on for,
Well, I've made a list because I've gone on.
Yeah.
I've gone on.
It only has to be one page. You got 3 pages.
I called my mom. Well, Mom was on the phone just before Phil arrived because I said, oh, my gosh, what was the name of the really good linguiça? So I would like a Silva's linguiça sandwich from my school's festival. Like they only got the best ones, and all the men were over there with the beer, and it's like in a long hot dog bun.
It's like going to the San Gennaro Festival and getting sausage and peppers. Yeah.
See, now mine's like a world trip because I've got my grandma used to make me just Kraft mac and cheese, but she would grate fresh white bread and fry it in butter and put that on top as breadcrumbs. My mom's French toast. My mom's cream tuna on toast.
Oh,
I know. And a plate of Mexican food from Porfi's restaurant. I don't care what's on it because I liked everything. And
it's like me. Like if I would say, okay, where's your last restaurant you want to go eat at?
Yep.
Probably Carmine's.
Yeah. See, that's it. It's just like, everything you're going to have
is good.
And that's now I was thinking about, we were saying if you were lucky enough to know, you're having your last meal, this is not maudlin. This is something I'm really happy. My dad, before he passed away, he was quite ill.
Yeah.
So I went to visit him,
Mhm.
and he wasn't himself. And he was really not well. So I would go early in the morning, and I'd go to Caro's and get an order of biscuits and gravy.
Ooh.
And I would bring it to him. Like, I did it a few times, and he was so happy because I knew that is his favorite.
Yeah.
And it just made me
It made you good.
so
Made you feel
happy
good.
that I could make him so happy. So there you go.
All right, so that concludes our better dead than fed.
And we're back.
Oh, we're back. Yes. Have to wake me up.
I don't always do the welcome back thing. I'm not used to it.
Well,
I'm
my hands underneath the
sorry.
table petting the dog.
Oh, well, you and that dog.
Yes.
He
All
adores
right,
you.
so we're going to do some housekeeping.
Yes.
And the code for the month of February is hotter than July.
And that's it. Now, on the USA Foods website, click the listener discount logo, and you can see the goodies that we have on special. The store is open 7 days a week. You can check the site for hours. Please subscribe, share, and engage with the podcast at podcast@usafoods.com.au. Now, we had a few notes that we will get back to next week because we're running a little bit long, but all you people know that we do read them and care about you, so we'll be right back with it.
Yep. And keep those cards and letters coming in, folks.
And Neil sent us a card for Christmas.
Yep.
And, he's one of our original listeners. And now, so we're going to be talking about national food holidays have become celebration days.
Yep.
So the new list, which we are getting used to.
So like today is National Banana Bread Day.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yum.
Okay. And then you got Friday, National Chocolate Covered Peanut Day.
I don't know if it needs a day, but yes.
I'd rather have wasabi covered peanuts.
We haven't had goobers. Can we get goobers?
Goobers, yeah.
Well,
Well,
the
yeah,
peanuts?
quarantine wouldn't know what a goober is.
We should get goobers
Yeah.
because I like the raisinets and goobers.
Okay. National Pistachio Day
Is on Saturday, which is
the
good.
nuts here.
That's
And
right. It's a nutty show.
and this one you're going to be doing the recipe.
Yes.
National Strawberry Day.
Yes.
And the last one is National Chocolate Souffle Day. Don't
Yum.
close the oven. Bang! There it
And
goes.
there it goes. That wasn't that always like on Lucy and everything else. Now I have got an easy ice cream, right, to make. So there's no churning. You don't need an ice cream maker.
Mhm.
So it has, and you can use any berries you want. I have made this one over the years. Now strawberries are pretty sweet. If you use blackberries or blueberries, you're going to increase the sugar. So 500 grams fresh or frozen strawberries. If they're frozen, thaw and drain. 1 cup of cream and a 1/4 cup of sugar. Or if you prefer it sweeter, add all ingredients into a food processor, a Ninja, or whatever. That's it. And blitz until it's a smooth consistency. And then you may have to stop it and scrape down the sides, but we're all adults. We know this. Serve immediately after you... if you enjoy a soft consistency, that's because you used frozen berries, but don't worry about that. Or transfer to a freezable container and freeze for a few hours overnight. Now, I go and stir it every few hours because the crystals don't,
so it blends together. Yep.
and that's it. And
Very
it's yummy, and it's, you always have leftover cream from stuff you're making, and there you go.
Yeah, Jeanette makes some protein shakes. We use that Ninja blender. They should have a warning on that. You need to put earplugs in. It's so loud.
Oh, yeah. Now wait for the dialogue on the TV to be coming up. The most important part.
Oh yeah.
It's either that or the garbage disposal, and it depends how much you've irritated me during the day
Yeah.
to my timing of those items.
Thought so.
All right. So now we go to our personal best products. So this one just came back in. We had it for a while, but usually I keep them all.
Yes.
Okay.
But you can do that. That's your
I can.
prerogative.
But anyway, so now we bring in a bunch more and share it around. So Stash Tea.
I love that brand of tea, and I've loved
Just
it
great.
since I was
It's
a
all,
kid.
certified GMO and blah, blah, blah. So one of my favorites, I got 2 favorites of theirs. One is
Mhm.
Double Bogamont.
Yes,
which
and
I-
you've shared one of those with me.
which I haven't
once.
had. I got to reorder that one.
Yeah,
I
do
haven't
that
had
one.
that in a whole time. And this one here is lemon ginger.
That's lovely.
And it's really nice. I put sugar in it, which you're not supposed to, but I put a little bit of sugar. But it's like it's very cleansing. It's warm. It's they give you all this happiness thought on the box about how it's gonna brighten your mood. And I don't know if it brightens my. Usually I have it at night, and but it's really it's tangy. It's nice after dinner and stuff like that.
It's fresh.
Cleanses your palate,
Yep.
so to speak. So that's my favorite, and it's a really good product. They make great teas.
They
And
do.
the other big one out of America is this
Celestial seasonings,
Yeah.
so we've got those as well.
Mhm.
Now, Jeanette likes the peppermint in that, doesn't
I love
she?
peppermint.
And then my favorite is licorice, which it was funny because a few years ago you guys got the variety boxes.
And you picked all the licorice.
Well,
out.
no, I
Like
do.
the-
You just showing up, going, "Here, we hate these. You can have it because we hate licorice." And I was like, "Fine."
Okay.
So it's a great product, worth looking at, and it makes great iced tea. All the stash ones as
Yes.
well. So there you go.
And the other brand that we have that's on the shelves now is the Stash pomegranate green tea or pomegranate something green tea.
I'll have to try that
Yeah.
this week. I've got my little stash up the top of stash.
All right. And now a new nugget.
Yes, we've got our knowledge nuggets. So
Hmm.
these are the things that like your mother would tell you, or little hints to make something a little bit better that we might not think about sharing with
Yeah.
people. So Phil, what is your knowledge nugget?
So my milk goes back to the 70s when I had a
Right.
lot of hair and my hair was very curly.
Yes, I've
Right.
seen photos. It
Yeah.
was.
Okay. And I used to use a pick.
Right?
So if you get a pick,
Mhm.
I don't know if you could find one
You
here.
can still,
You can find them in
Yep.
Australia?
yeah,
Okay.
a beauty product.
Yeah, but
place.
you want a wire one, not a plastic one.
Yes.
Okay. And you can use that for a number of different things. It's sort of like an egg slicer on steroids.
Just make sure you have one for the food and then a different one for your
Yes,
hair.
yes. Right. You don't want to have hairspray and stuff on there. No.
I'm
So
not gonna
anyway,
fix-
you can use this to dice and slice a lot of things in uniform sizes.
Oh,
So if you hold it up and if you put put it into a tomato or a
Yeah.
lemon and use that as a guide to slice your knife and they all come out perfect.
it's like the bread slicing guides.
Yeah, it's like a bread slicing guide.
Okay. That
So
is
you could do it vertically, horizontally.
yes.
Yeah, I think I saw Jamie do something like that using to cut a layer cake that you want to cut into 7 layers and using like something like that as a guide
Ah,
as you start doing it and but then actually you could use it to go into the 4 corners and then put a toothpick there and that's because it's long and
you can
s-
see it.
do your slices. That's
That
little,
is-
little beyond the yeah. Yeah.
That's very fancy.
And then you can pick things up with it, it's a very versatile tool.
It is.
Yeah.
But like I said,
Somebody sneaks up on you, you can, kill them.
that's funny because Jamie,
Yeah.
he was going through his kitchen one time and he said, "Oh, this is the best grater I've got for zest."
Yeah.
He goes, "I bought it in Japan." I thought, "Oh, this is great." They go, "No, it's for the corns on your feet." But that's what he.
Well,
you
use
never
things for
know.
different things.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Now, my nuggets is that if you get a recipe like a banana bread that has chocolate chips in it,
Yeah.
or a chocolate chip cookie, or any of those things, instead of breaking out the chocolate chips, get a bar of good chocolate
Mhm.
or the equivalent weight, or a couple of bars, depending on what you get and where you get it. Chop it up into chunks, it breaks apart, and use that instead because you get bigger bits of chocolate, like different
Oh,
little
I thought you were going to say
sizes.
you got to grate it.
No, just chop it up and don't use the chips.
Yeah. But actually, like we talked last week about using the butter and grating it.
Yes,
Do that with the chocolate if you want to coat the top with
yes, you
chocolate,
can do that.
instead of melting it and all that and then bake it or
There you go. I've also seen a chocolate chip recipe where they have grated a Hershey bar and put that in the dough with chips.
Oh. Yeah,
So
man, it'll just melt.
that's right. So don't be hamstrung when it says chocolate chips. You can play around and do what you like with it.
Yep. And so that brings the end of number 72.
Woo!
Wow. Okay. So next week's show,
Yes,
I misread it and I came in here ranting.
he did. It was another rant.
It was a pre-rant.
It was a pre-show rant.
I said, what is this about airplane jelly?
It's like,
you
what
mean
the hell
Jell-O?
are you talking about?
Yeah, it's just like, what am I, it says right, airplane food.
Food.
Yes.
Yes.
Could have some great stories on airplane food.
I know. And you know what?
I said some already.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to hear people's stories too. So
Yes.
That would be funny because it's changed over the years, as we both know.
Mhm.
Some of us are lucky enough to be at the pointy end of the plane. Not all of us.
Yeah.
So you can see how the foods get up there. Remember when they took away utensils
Yeah.
and we got back to
Oh, yeah.
plastic? And you know the worst part? They took away the curtains so I could see what the business class people were eating. It
Yeah.
made it worse. It was all a mystery. So we're going to be talking about sort of the evolution of it, our experiences, some funny things with it.
Yeah.
And so we just thought we would bring that to your attention.
Yeah. So anybody has any stories about airplane food or
Yep.
any travel food? I mean, on a bus or on a train, because they feed you
They
food on
do.
a train.
Oh, I remember Continental because that was the cheapest flight when Brenda and I were flying back and forth.
Remember calling them up? Hello, welcome to Continental. Oh,
And they-
I got the wrong airline.
They had the worst. Their food was smaller than a Lean Cuisine. It was all wrapped in foil, and they just sort of threw it at you. And like they didn't even ask what you wanted. It was
No.
like chicken or.
Then we're gonna have
pig.
nothing to talk about next week.
No, that's okay. I've got hours on that one. Anyway,
Well,
that's what we're talking about now. We have this quote about.
oh, we didn't finish. That's right.
That's right. We didn't finish. Now I'm going to take a quick sip of water.
Are you sure that's water, not vodka?
That's later.
Okay.
Okay. This quote is from. Have you watched Afterlife?
No.
It's well worth watching. It's a lovely show. So this is Ricky Gervais from the Afterlife series. One day you'll eat your last meal, smell your last flower, hug your friend for the very last time. You might not know it's the very last time. So that's why you should do everything you love with passion.
Oh,
That's it.
how nice.
It is.
Okay, and that does it for this week.
I'll see y'all next week.
Yep. Bye-bye.